A boy named Chotu was traveling to a place with his mother and sister. Arriving at the destination, Chotu saw a child wearing a tie and school uniform. He feels very happy, as Chotu really wants to go to school. However, his mother took him to his uncle's shop, named Badi. Chotu's mother asked her son to work in the shop. With the aim, Chotu can earn money and can pay off his mother's debts. His mother convinced Uncle Badi that Chotu was a very smart boy and loved to read. So, he won't bother anyone. In the middle of the conversation, his mother and uncle were seen taking plants to treat a camel named Laxmi. The camel was so injured that it could not stand up. Then Chotu told his uncle that the camel would get well soon. Chotu starts working with his uncle. There was someone who also helped Uncle Badi. He is Lapton. In their work, Chotu and Lapton are in charge of serving customers, including the customers of a hotel located in the kingdom of Raja Rudra Pratap Singh. Half of the kingdom was used as a residence. In the kingdom, there is a boy who feels lonely because he has no friends. He is Prince Ranvijay Singh. While elsewhere, Chotu lives with Lapton. However, Lapton refused and told Chotu to leave. Not losing his mind, Chotu scares Lapton that the house is haunted. Lapton, who was frightened, immediately went to Chotu to ask him to live with him. The next day, everyone was surprised by Laxmi's healed wound. Seeing this, Uncle Badi was very happy. He compares Lapton to Chotu. Because Lapton doesn't like being compared to Chotu, he orders Chotu at will to finish his work. After that, Uncle Badi teaches Chotu to make a good tea. Later, Chotu was immediately asked by Uncle Badi to try making his own tea. Once done, Chotu brings it to Uncle Badi. But Uncle Badi was surprised and couldn't believe that the tea was made by Chotu because it tasted very similar to his tea. As Uncle Badi is doubtful and disbelieving, he orders Chotu to make the tea directly in front of him. And sure enough, after drinking it, Uncle Badi was shocked. He confirmed what Chotu's mother had said, that Chotu was a smart and fast learner. Later, Chotu delivers his homemade tea to the hotel with Laxmi. However, Lapton finds out that Chotu took Laxmi without permission. Lapton reported this to Uncle Badi. However, because Uncle Badi believed in Chotu's talent, he instead ordered Chotu to use his camel every day. This made Lapton even more angry at Chotu. And the great thing is, Chotu serves the tourists by using English. In fact, he only learns it from other tourists. The next day, Chotu saw the President of India named Dr. Abdul Kalam on television. Dr. Abdul Kalam really inspired him. Seeing that president, Chotu really wanted to wear a tie. Later, Chotu sees Prince Ranvijay coming home from school. And he wears a tie. Then, Chotu approached him and asked who wore the tie. The prince said that he himself put the tie. He also shows Chotu how to wear a tie. After seeing the prince wore a tie, Chotu can immediately practice it at home. In the evening, he saw a program on television about the President of India who would pay for the school fees for the children. The president also said that destiny can be changed through action and success. It depends on 4 things. Those 4 things are a clear purpose in life, a good education, hard work, and perseverance. Hearing these words made Chotu even more inspired and determined to go to school. In the next morning, Chotu meets the prince in the kingdom. Inspired by the President of India, Chotu changed his name to Kalam. He told the prince to call him by the name of Kalam. Not only that he changed his name, but he also changed his hairstyle just like Abdul Kalam, the President of India. After that, Kalam aka Chotu went to the kingdom to meet his friend, Prince Ranvijay. Then, Kalam was invited by the prince to go to his room. There, Kalam was very happy because he saw many books. He asked the prince to teach him English, and in return, he would teach the prince Hindi. While elsewhere, Uncle Badi will have a guest named Lucy Madam. Lucy is a woman that Uncle Badi likes. He ordered everyone to prepare for Lucy's arrival. A few moments later, Lucy came. Chotu introduces himself by the name Kalam. Day by day, Kalam and the prince are getting closer. They started to share with each other. Then, they tell what they want when they grow up. Kalam said that he wanted to be a man in a tie, while the prince had no idea what he wanted to be when he grew up. Seeing this, Kalam advised the prince to build a school where underprivileged children can wear a tie and come to study. While in the kingdom, the prince said that he had a friend. However, the king forbade the prince to associate with ordinary people and he could only make friends with equals, they are the noble people. But the prince secretly remained friends with Callum. At Uncle Body's shop, Lucy was amazed by Callum's intelligence and his passion for reading books. Then, Callum showed her the books he often read. Not only that, Callum also told that he fooled Lapton and said that his house was haunted. Hearing this, Lapton was very angry. After school, Callum invites the prince to meet Lucy to help him with his French homework. But as a return, they have to show good places to Lucy. In the evening, Lucy plays a musical instrument at Uncle Body's shop. Everyone seemed to like it. The other visitors who have musical instruments also play music with her, including Callum. He played a musical instrument that he had played on the way to the shop. Then, Lucy asked Callum to ask Uncle Body for 2 days leave to meet his mother and keep his promise because Lucy had helped the prince. The next day, Callum and Lucy went to the town where Callum and his mother lived. When he got there, his mother was very surprised because Callum gave her a lot of money from his hard work and his intelligence. While at the shop, Lapton was furious with Uncle Body for being unfair to him. That evening, in the town where Callum lived, he told his mother that Lucy would take him to Delhi. Lucy was going to send Callum to school, but Callum's mother refused. At that time, Lapton felt very angry with Callum because he felt that he had been lied to about the ghost in his house. He burned all of Callum's books. After returning from the town, Callum met the prince and gave him the bracelet he had bought from his homeland. Meanwhile, the prince also gives Callum a tie. He was very happy and promised the prince that one day they would go to school together. Meanwhile, Uncle Body finds out that Lucy already has a husband, so it makes him very disappointed. That day, Callum was very angry and he fought with Lapton because Callum knew that his books had been burned by Lapton. The situation is getting worse. Uncle Body scolds Callum and says he should focus on his work, not studying. Not only Callum, Lapton was also scolded by Uncle Body, who was in a bad mood. After that incident, Callum decided to come with Lucy to Delhi. However, Lucy had already left the city. Callum became very desperate. At that time, the prince was very angry with Callum because he did not tell the prince about what had happened to him. Then, the prince gave the book to Callum. He was very happy and began to read again. The prince suffered an injury to his right hand when he fell while playing soccer. However, he must be the school representative for the Hindi language competition. Happily, Callum helped the prince to write it, and the prince would read it. Unfortunately, when Callum came to see the prince to give his writings, he was accused of being a thief and brought before the king. Callum fled to Delhi in a cargo truck. While the prince won the championship and took home the Hindi trophy. He waited for Callum, but the prince's bodyguard said that the kingdom thought that Callum was a thief. Later, the prince said that Callum was not a thief, but a friend who had helped him all along. Later, Uncle Body contacted Lucy to help find Callum in Delhi. The prince also looked for Callum in Delhi. While Callum went to meet the President of India to give a letter and say thank you. However, Callum was expelled. Later, Lucy met the prince and they searched for Callum together. They get clues to where Callum went until they listen to the musical instrument that Callum often plays. And sure enough, it turned out to be Callum. Then, Callum was successfully brought home by the prince. Callum was readmitted to the city and continued to work. Finally, Callum's dream came true. He could go to school with the prince by paying for his own school. He also participates in social activities to help underprivileged children like himself.